Scroll with intention.
Is that part of this?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I think scroll with intention is a bit more unique than don't compare.
Still, people are going to scroll, aren't they?
Yeah, but with intention, Antoine, seriously.
No one's got that much. No one's got that much restraint. Oh, let me scroll with intention. All right.
You're not understanding the concept.
People are gonna scroll regardless.
Yes, scroll, but what you're looking at, make it intentional. Not scroll with intention. Like, what you're looking at is intentional.
That's so funny.
I understand, but how long will it last?
Well, I'm thinking about putting an hour limit on my Instagram, so an hour.
What is your screen time at the moment?
I don't even want to say.
Have a
it's
look.
absolutely disgusting. What's yours? No, the one time I looked and it was something like 16 hours and I thought, I need to...
A day?
Yes, and I thought, I need to get off this. No, so I deleted everything and I checked myself and then we reined it in. Now...
16 hours a day?
No, but I think that was maybe like a lockdown thing. That wasn't like day to day. Like, who has time to do that? But how do I
Clearly,
find out?
you.
Clearly me. We're in the middle of a pandemic though, so... How do I find my average?
I just typed in on the search bar screen time.
Oh, I don't want to say. What's yours?
What are you doing? Daily average or
Daily average.
screen time?
But I do also think though, does this count when we listen to Spotify? Because I do listen to Spotify a lot. And also when
it
I'm
tells you
working
most
here-
used categories. My it must not. It must be the amount of time you actually spend clicking on Spotify, because mine only comes up for 10 minutes for Spotify.
Oh, okay. I was like, don't. Oh yeah, my Spotify's 5 minutes.
So go on then.
I
What
want to
is
see where
your
I'm spending all my time.
what is your daily average?
Yeah, but how can this be? Because then it's telling me that I only spend 2 minutes on messages, 7 minutes on WhatsApp, 9 seconds on Fresher. So how can it amount
Are you
to
on
this?
day?
Oh, I'm on today.
Scroll, go to the top of it. There's week and day.
Yeah, I'm on week now.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, what's your average a week?
4 hours and 3 minutes. Average a day.
Okay, mine's average 3 hours, 42.
Oh, so...
Not too bad.
Not much different.
But what does it say your social productivity?
Wait, but it says 34 minutes of that is travel. Because I always put my sat nav on when I drive, even when I drive here, just in case there's traffic and I can go a quick way.
What's your average today? What's your time today so far?
An hour and 20, but 30 minutes of that is driving. 34 minutes of that is driving.
Oh, mine's at hour 30. Social 38, productivity and finance 27, entertainment 8. But entertainment must be classed as notes.
Yeah,
because it says Instagram 33 minutes, notes 18 minutes, Spotify 8 minutes, mail 5 minutes, WhatsApp 3 minutes.
So mine is, my maps is 34 minutes, my Instagram is 8 minutes, Deliveroo is 7 minutes.
And you've not even ordered yet.
WhatsApp 7 minutes, Spotify 5, Safari 4, messages 2, and then it's like 50 seconds.
That's not that bad, Amy. I was thinking that you were going to be 7-8 hours.
Well, if you take off my... Yeah, no, it's not bad. If you take off my maps today, then it's actually 50 minutes that I've been on my phone, so...
That's pretty good going. Considering that you wake up at...
I woke up at 7:30 today.
Oh, that's pretty good then. That you've only been on there an hour.
And I did actually sit in bed and scroll for a bit. I'm surprised it's only that. I felt like longer. So, look at me crossing my legs weird. Are we filming? Are we rolling? Anton's snacking.
When I was at that party when I was at that event on Sunday, I looked over. I thought, oh, I massaged you the other week.
No, I went to Flourish yesterday.
I tried to go on Sunday.
No, it was so good the last few times I went, and when I went on it was Monday. When I went on Monday, it wasn't that good. and the food took ages. And I ordered avocado and toast with 2 poached eggs, and she came out and she said, we've run out of eggs, there's only one. And I was like, that's fine.
It's a farm shop.
But then, but then when I looked at the egg, it was like, you know when you poach an egg and if you do it bad, like you have the yolk and then like the egg bit, like the white.
So
it wasn't like
they
a
just
poached
ruined
egg.
all
It
the
was like-
eggs.
yeah, and I was like, ugh. And also the last time I went, the avocado was smashed avocado with roasted butternut squash and leeks all mixed into it. It was really creamy. It had seeds on the top. It was really like, it was like a little mountain. It was nice. This time they've changed it to basil pesto, seeds and avocado. The avocado was about that thin on a piece of toast about that big, and then the basil pesto was just spread on the plate just to the side of it, but barely anything, with a couple of seeds and then loads of fucking pea shoots on it.
No consistency.
No, it was bad. And then anyway, so yeah, I was in there and then I saw a lady and I was like, oh my god, I didn't say anything there. I like tapped my face.
I always have this thing where I don't think people recognise me.
Yeah, because,
I think that no one knows me.
yeah, because I was in Tesco in down by me, and one of the girls, I looked up and I thought, she hasn't got a clue who I am, so I carried on, and then she looked and she was like, oh hi, like going like that, and I was like,
I pretend no
I was
one
like, are you
knows
speaking
me.
to me or not? And then she like really looked at me and I was like, oh hi, and then I just walked away because I looked like shit. And then again, like up the road in Sainsbury's, someone stopped me and they were like, hi, how are you? And I was like, you know when you know them, she's one of my well, you say regulars, but I've done her quite a few times.
Yeah.
Like, here and there. And I did recognise her, but you know when you see people outside of the space that you normally see them?
Yeah.
And you're like,
And you have to
are
think,
you
is
who I
it?
think- yeah. Are you who I think you are?
No, I know.
And then
I just pretend no one knows me. No one knows who I am. And especially when I look like shit. I don't know
awful.
nobody.
I had the greasiest hair and I had it slapped back, not even like slick back, I had it slapped back.
Oh, I know exactly
and
what
I
you
was
mean.
wearing trousers that had like paint on them and oh my god, I looked awful. And
I know,
thought,
so different to how you
we're
look
in
now.
a studio. And then
It's so funny, but when you when you see people out their environments, it's just different. But we definitely both looked, and I knew his friends, and I thought I recognised him when he came in, but I was like, this is so funny.
do you look at them though? Are you like looking at them trying to clock them? Like see if that's
No,
who they
like-
think they are? Or are you like
Basically, these guys were dancing, like a song came on and they went crazy. I looked over and I was like, oh, I know his friend. And then I was like, wait, I really recognise him. And then I was like, and then I couldn't think of his name. And then I was like,
who was it?
it was a client that wasn't even meant to be with me. But,
Meant to be with.
yeah, but, like when we had to rearrange people, so it was only by chance. So I thought that's so funny. But
Jordan. Not
yeah.
Jordan.
No.
I can't. I've got Jordan tonight, and I can't think. I've had him before, but I can't think who he is.
You haven't had him for a while though.
But yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode. Another day in the life, I felt like saying. I'm a podcaster.
Calm down.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are enjoying the episodes so far. We're back on a roll. Although I think they're coming out every 2 weeks.
Sometimes
So-
We have to
sometimes one.
Okay.
Sometimes two, sometimes one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll catch us when you catch us now. But on today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about comparison, scrolling with intention, and just thinking about what, like, you're intaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna let you lead away with this one.
my kind of thoughts with it is, like, me and Amy were just looking at our screen time, and we don't spend that much. Well, I don't think we spend that much compared to some. My
No.
mum and dad my mum spends 8 to 10 hours on her phone.
No.
Mental.
Well, we were just saying how like in lockdown mine was horrific.
Do you
and
want to say how much?
Yeah, but I don't think it was like this all the time. I think it was like this, you know, sometimes
On this
it
particular
like
day.
pops up and it's like your screen time for this week or like your average for this week or whatever. And it was
45%
obviously
higher than
yeah,
usual.
it was obviously a bad week. And it was like something like 16 hours a day for that week. But I promise it wasn't like that the whole of lockdown. It was just like a week. But I looked at it and I thought, oh my God.
It's good they do that now though.
And that's an average.
Yeah.
Hello, that's horrific. So
That
I
means
deleted
one day you were like,
20
did you
hours.
even sleep that
Probably
day?
didn't even sleep. But I do that a lot though. This is why I want Megan to lead so I can take the advice, because I do just sometimes sit in bed and scroll without intention. And yeah. For a long time, like way too long.
Because it is addictive. Like,
yeah, it can be a
and
problem.
sometimes you're
but
like,
that was the thing. When I saw that, I was like, no, that's not okay. So I did not delete my profiles, but I deleted all of the apps off my phone, and I like made the effort to do other things.
I think lockdown you can get a pass for, because
yeah,
what were you doing?
Exactly.
There was nothing really.
But
to
it
do.
does like. Just I think this is also what you're going to touch on, is following on from that though. I felt rubbish. I felt awful, and I know lockdown was rubbish anyway, but like I felt awful. I was like, wait, that makes sense. So yeah, I like dropped the apps and like changed things, went out for walks and stuff like that. Obviously it's lockdown, so it's different, but we were just saying that it's just crazy how you can just get carried away with it.
Yeah.
And even now, like we've just looked at ours. I think ours are not too bad.
Yeah,
but
around 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we do stuff on our phone. Yeah, like 3.5 hours.
But yeah, exactly.
We do stuff on our phone.
It's hard when you do have a business in kind of whatever sector or whatever industry, because everything is so much on social media now.
Yeah.
Like there's not really an industry that doesn't have social media, I wouldn't have thought.
No. I think there's generations that don't have social media.
Definitely.
But even that, I think...
I think the generations that didn't grow up with social media are the worst ones.
My mum.
Yeah, my dad.
My mum and dad are awful. I literally tell them, are you going to put your phone down? Or...
Yeah.
It is the reverse of
I
what
try
you
and
think
speak
it
to my
is.
dad, and then he's like, think I'm talking to him and he's listening to me, and then the next thing he's like scrolled onto something else and it's a video and it comes up so loud, and I'm like,
so
hello?
loudly.
Are you listening to me or are you just scrolling?
Oh my God.
They
I
are.
actually do hate that though.
The new iPad kids.
Yeah. Because they're not used to it. And I'm kind of over it. I genuinely think sometimes if I didn't have a business, I would not.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is the thing, is you kind of have to be.
And I barely go on my own account. I will not see something that someone has sent me for days.
Yes, I know.
And even messages.
Yes.
But if someone
Megan
messages...
is the worst.
if someone messages on, like, Luxe's Instagram, I'm
Straight
there.
away.
Yeah.
So-
I'm there nearly at all times.
Yeah.
Like, which was also something I need to stop. But I'm just constantly on that account.
It is such a big thing though when your business is like such a crucial element, and I think you do have to be
It's so
smart with
fundamental
it.
in businesses now.
Yeah, and this is what I assume you're going on to say about being intentional and like being intentional, because you can just get carried away with it and you can just be looking at stuff that it's not relevant.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be wasting those hours looking at those things.
Yeah.
But
I think it's the mixture, because I think sometimes when you finish work, when I finish work, head home and I want to watch television. That's my thing. Some people's thing is to pick up their phone to disconnect from the day.
So that's me. I don't really watch TV. Like I might watch Netflix, I might watch like a documentary. That's my thing. Like I do watch documentaries for sure. But TV, like I don't...
I do like having a good scroll. Like if I wake up on a Sunday in bed, I don't mind having a little look on TikTok. But I know I can feel myself sometimes thinking like, oh, let me go and check that. Which I don't want to feel. I will go months without going on TikTok, and then at the moment I'm in a bit of a TikTok thing.
I've not really gotten into TikTok. I have it.
I know. Yeah,
I started getting into like weird stuff on TikTok though, and then now I was like, no, I need to stop this, and then I haven't stopped.
Mine's a bit like that. I think. Or like, The thing is, it's like, if you do something on Instagram, there's also TikTok, and there's like YouTube Shorts
if I
now, and
can't
it's
find
like
what I'm
everything.
looking for, then I'll go to the next one. I do watch YouTube Shorts quite a bit.
Do you, see, I don't watch YouTube Shorts. I've not gone on, because for me, it's like another thing.
I think that's what, like I said, I don't really do TikTok. By the way, when I said weird stuff on TikTok,
You know,
I used to watch people packing sweet orders.
no, but that comes up.
Yeah,
and obviously
it does come
people
up.
love it.
I didn't do it loads,
When
but
you
I
said
remember...
weird stuff,
You knew.
no, I was thinking, wow, it is catered to like what you're into. So
Oh, you didn't want to touch on that.
yeah.
No, but like, so the sweet thing came up. I've watched it twice.
if you
So
like
it makes
one
famous.
thing like that,
Yeah,
that's it then.
That's your whole feed. So I had it on the one time I was in bed, and I was like, oh, this is really funny. And then I was watching it, and then I got like into it, and I was like, oh, like she's packing the order, she's shouting people out, she's putting like bits and bobs in. It looks like it was just funny. And then the next minute, I'm lying next to my partner, and I say the next minute, it was 3 hours later. He said, Ames, what are you doing? And I thought, I actually don't know. I've just sat
You're
here.
just sat there
for
watching.
3 hours.
You're not looking at anything
No.
else either,
No.
because
Just watching this person pack sweets.
yeah.
So then I thought, no, I've got to get off this. So I haven't really bought, like, because then the second time I went on it, the same thing happened because it came up. And
Yeah.
I think I watched it for like an hour. And I was like, oh my God.
But it shows
I
you again, because it knows you were
'cause
into
I've watched
it.
it once, so now it's like...
It's the weirdest things that you can suddenly then get into, and then it just keeps
It's
showing.
so funny.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but that, exactly that.
But there's so
My
much
whole feed now
content
is
on
just,
there.
It's just sweets, and I also, as a sweetaholic, I would say it's not good for me to be watching
No.
it.
But it's taken over, like the TikTok. Now you've got the TikTok shop, which is huge.
Yeah.
And you get huge discounts on there as well. And you could just be there for hours. And I'm not saying, if you enjoy that and that's your like bag of enjoyment, then you just
if
continue.
that's your time out, then you keep going.
Yeah.
But I think in like...
But it makes me go
You're-
insane a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
and then
my
the
head
time
will
just
hurt.
goes and you're like, oh, what have I spent my day off doing?
Yeah. And you know they say about your eyes, like when you're younger, like, oh, if you keep looking at that screen.
You're going to get square eyes.
I feel my eyes if I've looked at the screen too much. Not if I'm working on my computer, I'm fine. If I'm looking at my phone screen, I start to feel my eyes like...
I think it's because it's a smaller
And I'm just
screen
super
and you're like zoned
focused.
into this like tiny little screen.
It's actually crazy that we're so like into our phones as we walk around. Just at all times.
I think, like you said, if it's what you enjoy, you keep going, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I think it is so useful for a lot of things, and
Yeah.
I think that's the intention.
And enjoyment,
like,
it
make
does
the
bring...
most out of it in terms of but like even the business side of stuff, like I enjoy looking at other people and seeing what other people are up to.
Yeah.
Seeing what other people are posting. Sometimes you find people in the industry who are just like characters and they're just really funny with what they
Yeah.
post, and then other times, and it's like fun to follow along and you are still learning, and then other times you follow people who are just like, they're just like right down to it, like they are, I don't know, they just,
Well, like straight to the point.
yeah, like, but
I think it also shows a really like there is like an unfiltered side of people where
Yeah.
you will find someone on TikTok that thinks exactly like you are thinking, and you'll think that no one's ever thought that before, and you'll see something, and I seen something the other day, and it was about buying a plot of land with your family. All the families live on this land, and then you like create your own produce, and there was like a lake, and it's like, and you could just create your own community. And I've thought of that before, like why don't people do these type of things? And like I think it was like 500,000 people had liked it, so that means that way over 1 million people have seen it. And I think it's so funny because some of these platforms you don't find things like that. It's I feel like it's a bit more authentic than Instagram is, but also there is its own thing going on.
I feel like, well, I follow someone who's amazing and her Instagram posts are amazing, and then when I did, after the sweet incidences, I did start looking at stuff that was more targeted to the line of work that I'm in, and I followed, I went to TikTok to look at her, and she's posted the same as she's put on Instagram but more, and like you said, maybe a little bit more personal, like a little bit more chatty, and a little bit,
You could really take
like a
each
bit
platform
looser.
different.
Yeah, like not as I feel like Instagram's very businessy now.
Yeah.
Like obviously you have the personal side of it, but the business side of it is very...
I would love to actually see what is like solely just personal and not like business and
I feel like Instagram is
that
like,
influence.
it's almost like a website now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for
it
businesses.
It is a search engine that
It's
people
like
use.
a clean front, and then you go to TikTok and it's like a little bit more
Messy.
like funny, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
It is
behind
just
the
that
scenes.
wide range of like people doing.
So it is good to see that like on the different platforms.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference between them. And I think for someone who really, like, you following that person, you obviously like their content enough and you want to see different sides of them.
Yeah.
Because people do connect with people. And I think it does break down... I think having that different platform can give you that, like, more easygoing, looser side than what you'd maybe get from them on Instagram. Because it might just be a photo or something just really simple. But I think mainly it's just to be, like, if you are using social media and it's giving you a negative effect, as in, like, we've talked about lots of the positives, like, it just being funny, like, good things, but the negative side of it, of more of the comparison. And if you are maybe starting a business and you're watching everybody else and you're not feeling inspired... then these are little things that you can do, or that I would do, to really, like, limit the content that I'm seeing that is, like, maybe bringing your, like, energy down.
Definitely. You don't have to follow everyone.
Yeah. And you have no excuse. Like, if, even on your personal page, like we were speaking a minute ago, and... in my, like, for me, I want to start connecting with more people that are, like, entrepreneurs and, like, business owners as myself. But I've always had this thing of I don't want it to be personal. I don't want people to know my business. I don't want people to, like, be part of that. I want it to be separated. But also now there's a side of me, and this changes over the years. Like, I would never have thought about this before. There's a side of me that wants a personal presence, but just to network with these people in the local vicinity. That means when I contact someone, I'm not coming out of Luxe Amore Studios
or
page,
your very personal,
or my very personal, very family orientated Instagram that I have. I want there to be, like, a separate space. And we were saying that I seen this lady post. She's just posting travel vlogs on her Instagram, and she said that she felt like she blocked all of her family and friends and just started a totally different page, and she's grown it really quickly over a really short amount of time, like 3 months. I think it's got like over 100,000 followers, and it's really, like, we were saying it's just so funny that you feel like... It's not funny, but I get it, where you feel like you need to block people or limit who sees it because you can't fully show up as yourself.
I think sometimes it's like pressure from the people around you, or even if it's not pressure, it's like sometimes you feel a little bit embarrassed. Like, you want to put yourself out there and you want to be like, this is me, this is what I do, I want to network through this. But then if you've got, like,
it's something new.
I don't know. Someone...
And you want to try it and see if it works, even, like, without people's eyes watching you almost. Like, obviously, these people probably care for you the most.
Yeah.
And want the best for you. But we were saying it's kind of funny, like, in the beginning... People just don't want to know. But it goes around on Instagram where it's like... oh, like, how's your small business doing?
Yeah.
And then as it gets bigger, it changes. I had something like that before.
How's your little business going? Like, how's your little... And it's like...
It's always...
But the minute that your socials are showing...
Yeah.
I don't know,
or you're hearing someone talk about it, and now you want to show interest.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you do have to just completely go in your own zone... and just forget about all that. And whatever you need to do to get in that zone, if you feel like you need to block everyone, and just I wish that people didn't feel like they had to do that. But sometimes I think people can show up in your life and be such a negative impact. Like, as in they can question what you're doing. Like, we've had people question us.
Yeah. Do you know, though, I feel like it's funny because if you were going to work and we didn't have social media and you were just at work, like, your family wouldn't be watching you.
Yeah.
But social media is an extension of your work. Like, you have to have that for, like you said, networking and showing people what you do and getting the clients in and just all of that stuff. But everyone sees it. So there's no... It's just, you're just exposed, aren't you, in every angle.
And it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, people are questioning everything that you say and do and act and the way you look and everything. So it is a very...
It's a new age thing, and
it is a new age thing.
It's hard to... Yeah.
It's hard to navigate.
But if you feel like it's something that you're going to struggle with, then just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Block who you have to block. No hard feelings. Just
and you
is
can
what
do
it is.
anything that you, like, want to try and achieve in this world.
And if you're feeling held back, even if it's just by your own feelings, like no one's even said anything to you, but you're just thinking to yourself.
Yeah, you're in your own head.
Yeah, then you just have to do what you have to do because...
And go through the emotions, because eventually you'll get there. Like, not to... Well, semi to touch on you, but for a while, it took you a while to get into this industry.
Yeah.
Like, from a mental standpoint.
It took a long time. Like,
until
and that
you
was
finally
my
got there.
That was my hold back. My hold back?
Yeah. That was what was holding you back.
That was what was holding me back. Was just my own head. I should have done it 6 years earlier, but I didn't because that whole 6 years I'd say, I really want to do it, but I just feel a bit embarrassed. I don't know if I'll be good
and
enough.
And you're working your way through the hurdles.
And you've got to not... Obviously, I did let that get to me, but you've got to do everything you can to not let that get to you because it holds you back. And like I would say, don't like to say regrets, but like that for me is like, I wish I didn't get into my head. I wish I didn't allow. And I would look at other things online.
It takes over there.
Yeah, but that is the thing as well. Like, I'd look at people online and think, oh, like, I could never do that, or I couldn't, like,
but that's sometimes
compete with that or something.
We look at them, like, they're already maybe 5 years in.
Yes.
And you're looking at them, and you're not in the same position.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So you cannot compare to them.
And so actually it's not healthy for me to follow these people.
Yeah.
You know, take the time.
There is that thing of, like...
As much as they're doing well and it's something, like, it's an inspiration, if I'm looking at it and thinking, like, getting in my own head about it, which is a shame that our minds even do that to ourselves, but if you do, then I should.
It's okay to support someone from afar, and you know, if they see that you don't follow them one day and maybe you've interacted before, they might think, oh, why is that? But ultimately, you need to care about your peace and how you feel and what you're putting out.
Yeah.
And the impact of others, like, that's not on you and how that person feels.
Yeah. I just think it is really important, like you're saying, to, like, don't compare. It's hard, but
it's so hard because
don't compare. And if you feel like
you're
healthy
comparison,
yes, 100%.
Like, ooh,
that's good, and you
it.
should. And it's like inspiration. Like, it's inspiring to look at people and see how they're doing. But if you're not in that right headspace, just hold off a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe follow them in a couple months when you feel a bit better, or you're
what is it they do, like the quiets where you can quiet someone or something.
You don't have to go full blown
delete. You could just quieten them so you don't see their posts.
Yeah.
Because if you're really trying to, like, fixate on what you're trying to do, and a lot of things can just be outside noise, and it will stop you from doing things.
And it is such a shame, like I said, it is a shame that sometimes our minds work that way, but actually sometimes you just have to work with that and accept that and do what you have to do. And you need to get yourself in a good position. Yeah. Because
people will make flippant comments thinking it's flippant to them. But to you it might be like a personal...
I can't remember why we were saying this earlier, but we were saying that we're both quite emotional, like in our personal lives. I feel like
and I was about to say, I was like, I'm emotional in my own personal life, but I think I'm starting to become detached emotionally
in your business
from business.
Yeah, not in your business, but
like it's still
life.
Everything to me.
Yeah.
But if something happens or something gets said, or like whatever it is,
water off a duck's back. Is that the same?
Yeah. Unless it's going to catch up on me, I just feel a bit numb to it.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes time to get there. You're like 9 years in. Well, into the industry, sorry, not into business. In business, you're a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you're in.
Yeah, but I just think...
It takes time. You're not going to be like that.
I've just surprised myself when something's happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Okay.
I just don't...
Let's move forward. Let's move past it.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's good though.
But yeah, and some people will be like that from the get-go, but not everyone. Like,
or even just like
still...
sometimes just being like, I actually just don't, like, I do care, but I actually don't care. Like, if someone says, I think I've said before about like posting on social media, posting your face or doing a talking video, if someone says something, you have to almost switch your mentality. Even if you're in a different like persona, like a Sasha Fierce type thing, where you just pretend to be someone else and like, I don't actually care what anyone says, I'm just going to do what I'm doing. Because you just need to care about yourself.
Yeah.
Because people always say stuff and it can push, like, it can take you backwards until you get the right people around you. It can be even like family comments, friend comments.
Sometimes they don't necessarily mean them in a bad way, but if you're not...
But it could knock you, especially if you're
yeah.
feeling a bit conscious about it anyway. It's really hard. Like, some people don't even like their photos taken, and that could be the first hurdle. And is it because they don't like the way they look, or is it because they don't like the way people perceive them to look? It's very... it's so interesting. I think it's more just trying to be as authentic and like fulfilled as yourself, or like confident in yourself to show up, although it's hard sometimes to be that person.
And I think it's making with your online
community presence.
Yeah, just being, what's the word? Selective with it, like
yes,
like you're saying, just pulling it back to the scrolling intentionally, like if you know.
Yeah, it's like if you were one of those people, I listened to a podcast, they said something the other day, I was like, I don't agree or align with that, but I like them and I respect what they're doing, and I respect they have their own opinion, and the opinion's not the same as me, but in my head I'm like, I just did a little fast forward 15 seconds, like that's what I do.
Yeah.
But if that was like something I really was like, oh no, that's not something I agree with, like, completely,
yeah.
I would maybe choose, I mean, we can select, like, you haven't got to listen to them, haven't got to listen to that episode, or if it was something that got me down, like, oh, I don't think like that, maybe I'm not like right thing like that, then actually maybe it's just not, you just don't, you know, mesh with them. But I think when it comes to Instagram, if you feel bad when you see something, just remove all these factors, because there's enough going on. And also find inspiration in different... You don't need to find inspiration directly from the industry we're in. I love looking at... I follow this one guy that does fitness. Not that I even watch his workouts, but I like the way he markets on Instagram. And I get that for inspiration. I like I like looking at food places, obviously, but just the way that they can sometimes create an atmosphere. Yeah. I use lots of different industries to...
And homeware.
To get inspiration that still makes me feel good. And also I like seeing other people putting out what they love. Like, I love seeing someone who is passionate about something and it coming through with what they're doing. I won't always... And also I think sometimes when you're watching people, like, you can easily copy, as in, like...
It's not authentic.
Yeah, you want to be as authentic as possible, because this industry, there's so many people in it, so much going on. People copy you all the time. So as long as you're, like, steering your way through your path without watching too much what other people are doing, it should be semi-smooth sailing. And even if someone does copy you, I do take it as more of a compliment than reacting to it. Because obviously you've been in, like I see it as, you've kind of inspired them to do this, or inspired them to call that
what
or
you
something.
were doing wasn't worth.
Yeah. Then they wouldn't be
Then
copying.
they wouldn't be copying. Like, they're not going to copy you if you're putting out crap.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And also in, like, everyone's just trying to, I'm mainly just speaking from the business industry because that's mainly where my social media scrolling comes from. And I just think everyone is trying to do their own thing. Some people are trying to copy, but a lot of people are in their own lanes. And I just like to see people just sticking or like building their brands like authentically. So
you do.
yeah, you do you. And if you like scrolling, continue.
Yeah.
But I do think it is
helpful
good.
to be.
It's good to also have the break. Get outside, be in the nature. Whatever you need to do to disconnect.
And block and unfollow anything that isn't serving you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's that.
That's that.
Till next time, my name's Megan.
My name's Amy.
We're checking out.
Why do you keep going high pitch?
I don't know. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias. Bye.